All right, so I worked at BMG. I did A&R. So I worked in the CD library. I used to make like no money at all at 300,000 CDs, and I would file them. That was my job. That's how I got into the label, right
Okay.
from the thing. And then I started to do stuff, and then I worked in the A&R department. I did urban and dance. So I was very socially awkward. Uh, a lot of some people in here actually know me very long, so I was super super awkward. Where like literally somebody would give me a compliment and I would get all weird. Like I didn't know. I was like, they're gonna think I'm conceited, and then it'd be like, my sister would be like, dude, just say thank you. Like why are you acting weird? You seem like a dick just because you're getting weird about it. So anyway, I say this to say because it prefaces to the story. So I was on the elevator and I would read these books on like how to be not socially awkward, and I would get on the elevator. So at this label, I jump in the elevator and I would start talking to people, and that was like my hardest thing, is to talk to people I didn't know.
It's just
So
practicing, essentially.
practicing exactly. So I read this book. If anybody hasn't read it, read it. That way, I'm not vague about the story. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie. I'm sure a lot of people have read it. So you read it or no?
No, I've never heard of that. I'm not a reader, but I'm gonna write that down, and I should. What is it called? How to what?
How to Win Friends and Influence People. Very hokey title, but what a great book, literally. So get the audiobook. If you don't read books, get the audiobook. I mean,
yeah, you're right. I need to get it together over here. Yeah. I never read books, man. I need to...
You're good socially, so you'll be fine. So anyway, so I'm reading the book, and it teaches you how to communicate with people. So I get on the elevator and start the small talk. So the preface of the book, just kind of get the book and then get you moving to the story, is that the gift of gab is not talking to people; it's asking the right questions. So I would literally ask people, and I would say the little things and kind of connect with people. So as I'm connecting with these people, I got to be really good friends with people on elevators. I was the guy that would chat it up. And I'll give you an example. So let's say you don't know somebody. Hey, how are you? How was your commute today? Oh, I came from Long Island. It was an hour and a half, but I got to get home early today because my daughter has soccer. So next time I come on, I'll be like, hey, how are you? How's your daughter doing in soccer? Just think of that. Like, you know what I mean? And,
yeah.
how's the commute from Long Island today? Like, people don't remember things like that. So, like, you start to kind of get your social value, and then that's how people like you, because nobody likes me. It's like, yeah, you don't know how to communicate. So
that's called a mirroring technique. That's what they call it. They call it mirroring technique when someone tells you something and then you ask a question about something they told you either at a later date or right there. It causes human beings to open up. They use that in the FBI when they're negotiating and stuff. Oh, my daughter's got soccer. Oh, she plays soccer? Yeah, she plays soccer at the school. Oh, did she play at that school? Yeah, at that school. And then they just keep going. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I love it.
It's interesting.
People learning. So finally, I got in the thing, and one day this lady goes to me. So you're an A&R. So what's funny is you'll talk to them 90 times, and they'll maybe ask you three. You'll get to talk maybe 3 of the 90 times. So the lady, got intrigued with me, and I used to make her laugh and whatever. And this older lady was on there, and she worked for Governor Pataki, who's like a New York mayor or somebody like that. Yeah. So anyway, Governor Pataki, and I said mayor. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I got
awkward. Yeah. So anyway, so the point of that is, so one day she goes to me, hey, are you looking for a job? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she's like, I have an executive assistant position that I think you'd be great for, because it's for the A&Rs, so like a president. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So it was 4 interviews. Now, a couple of things about labels. So first of all, labels, nobody dresses up for work. You can basically go in your pajamas. Nobody's on time. And wow. if you go out drinking or you had a night out for some industry event, you might sleep under your desk and wake up there the next morning. Just letting you know. So it was like the best job ever. So it was one of those like nights. I was like, so I had 3 interviews. One with her, one with somebody else, and then finally one day the thing comes. So I get up. It was like literally a late night. I probably didn't come home. I probably was wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday at my job, and it was common, by the way. That was like nobody said anything because they knew you were out. So she literally calls me up and is like, "You got to come right now. The executive's here." So I walk in. So I go upstairs. It was a bad boy. So see if you can catch 2 and 2. So I walk in, and I walk in the thing, and there's J-Lo to the left. Guys catching on? Who we talking about? And then we go to the back, and it was Diddy. So I go there, Yeah, so I go to Diddy, and so I sit down. So mind you, I had IT background, and then obviously I did A&R, and I produced. So think of all the things I did. She was like, "Dude, this guy's like he can listen to demos. He could do everything. Like what could he not do?" So so I sit down, and oh man, I shouldn't tell you what he's asked me, but he asked me like some awkward stuff. So I interviewed with Diddy. It was between me and Fosworth Bentley. Remember the guy that used to wear the bow tie? People in the chat, see if you remember. Fosworth Bentley. So it was between me and Fosworth Bentley. So he asked me some really obscure thing. It was like the worst question you could ever ask me, and then I answered. It was so
do,
bad.
you, do you like Cambodian breast milk or some shit from like
So
Chappelle
bad.
show?
It was so bad. I'll probably get sued if I say it. Yeah, it was
You
so bad.
remember the
Yeah,
Chappelle show episodes with him? Like I can only imagine.
it was
Like
so bad. Yeah, and then literally, like she was like he's ready to go, and then he asked me another question, and as I answered, he like turned up the music as loud as he could, and then I was like sitting there, and then he turned it down, and he was like, "All right, are we done?" And she was like, Diddy, like this is Puff. They call him. She's like, Puff, this is like the guy. Like, she's like, he has this, that, and she ran through, and he was like, yeah, I'll let you know. And then I left with my head, my tail between my legs, and didn't get the job, and Fosworth got it. But yeah. So that was a crazy ass story. So that was when he had the gun charge, and it was the last trip he was gonna make to Miami, and he was with J Lo, and yeah, so it was a crazy. I was like in my teens, such a
that's
great time.
crazy.
Yeah. So that was a great celeb story.
What would you
Uh,
say like year wise? Like what year was that?
I don't know, when did he have the gun charge? Like probably 2009, 7? No, 7, maybe
7, I
more.
think.
Oh, no, even before then. I was literally in my teens. Like I had come out of high school, went to like Institute of Research, and before I knew it, I was interning at a label. And then
1999.
was it? So 99?
I
Wow.
think so. Puff Daddy acquitted
Yeah.
December 27th, 1999, shooting at Club New York. Upon hearing the verdict, Combs hugged his lawyers who buried their heads against the rap mogul's shoulder.
Isn't that crazy?
99. Wow, that's crazy. So that's young J Lo, young P Diddy before. That's like right after, only a couple of years after P Diddy came out with like the whole Mo Money Mo Problems, after Biggie died and all that. Like that's when he became like a New York legend. I feel like I don't know. That's before my time. Honestly, I was 99. I was 10. I was playing with Pokemon. I was hustling Pokemon cards in 5th grade in
You see what he
99.
just did there? You see what he just did there?
Well, no, I'm just saying. So I don't want to act like I was there and I understand the whole, what music was like then because I was a child. But but yeah, that was a
Dude,
crazy time for.
literally probably I was a teen too. Like I was like, I'm telling you, like out of high school into school, the school was 9 months,
Yeah,
intern, and I'm at a job. Like I'm telling you,
so cool.
I know, it was such a great time. It was a great time, and it was like nostalgic. That's when you would go to the clubs, and like, dude, you would go to a club, and like Armin Van Helden's hanging out with like they were all just hanging out, like Jonathan Peters, and it was a nuts. Like when I tell you it was a crazy ass time, like yeah,